We are following breaking news this morning from the Gulf Coast. We are tracking Hurricane Idalia. The storm is now a Category 3 hurricane, downgraded at the top of this hour from a Category 4 as it approaches Florida's Big Bend region. Idalia is expected to make landfall any moment now south of the town of Perry, which is about an hour southeast of the capital of Florida in Tallahassee.
Total of 23 Florida counties have issued evacuation orders for their coastal cities and low-lying areas ahead of Idalia's expected landfall. The National Weather Service in Tampa Bay warning of the impacts. We're talking about storm surge, heavy rain, as well as tropical and hurricane force winds, depending on location. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has activated the National Guard, and President Biden has approved an emergency declaration.
So listen to your local officials. Take the appropriate precautions to protect you and your family. And once the storm passes, we will have help that will be on the way.
Florida's Big Bend area could get 12 to 16 feet of storm surge.
That is a lot of water. Take a look at this video here. Tides are growing higher as waves begin to crash closer to the Sanibel Island Causeway. And this area, you may remember, was hit hard last September by Hurricane Ian. So just another storm coming and bearing down on Florida's Gulf Coast.
And because of this, Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville is closed today for non-urgent appointments. Affected patients were contacted to reschedule. Emergency services and hospital operations will remain open. So a lot of us have contacts in this area, and this is a very anxious time. And let's get more on this with meteorologist Ted Schmidt. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, Category 3 storm as of the top of the hour, and it is the last word making a landfall as we speak. So happening at this point with the storm surge in that 12 feet to 16 feet range. That is what's happening at this point. We are watching it as it moves quickly to the northeast, and just moments ago it was 17 miles per hour. Now it's 18 miles per hour, so picking up speed since about this time last hour, in the last 60 minutes or so. Maximum sustained winds 125 miles per hour, so just a slight reduction for the 130 we had at the top of our program at 4:30, where we were looking at the most recent analysis. Going from a Category 4 to officially a 3, still a major hurricane, as it works its way to the northeast at a fairly brisk pace, moving northeastward, again at 18 miles per hour, generating anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of rainfall, certainly along its eye wall, as it moves to the northeast fairly quickly into Florida and moving toward Georgia. Category 2 hurricane still this afternoon, well inland at that hour as it moves into the afternoon hours into Georgia, and then reaching Charleston, South Carolina by around midnight tonight as a tropical storm, just then beginning to weaken a tropical storm situation. Right now, where we are, it's a very quiet morning, no traffic, or very little of it happening right now, but nothing happening in the sky, just a couple of passing clouds, a lot of sunshine. That's the current view from our Lewis Donato camera. Here at the studio, it's 59. The wind is very light. It's a beautiful sun-filled morning, kind of a crisp, cool morning here at the studio. At the airport, officially in Rochester, it's 55, 57 in Mason City, and 59 in Owatonna. Skies are clear. We have sunshine in the area, and that's what we'll have all day long. Dog walking forecast. We go to Albert Lee. Betty and Jasmine ready for a walk. They're hanging out in the bed, looks like there, and maybe a great day to take as many walks as you can, because it's a stellar day, the kind of day you fantasize about all winter, really all summer maybe, starting off in the 50s, 76 later this afternoon. Bus stop forecast, the way to school 53. On the way home from school, 75, just a hint of a breeze and a lot of sunshine. Just a gorgeous late summer day. Allergy report moderate for pretty much everything except dust, which is now on the high end of the scale, and UV index level 6 in the scale of 1 to 10. Outlook for today, we start kind of cool by lunchtime or the low 70s. Later today, a high of 76 with very light east winds throughout the day, and after this the heat starts building up. So if you have some outdoor plans, things you want, projects you want to get done before it gets a little on the toasty side, today's your day, I think, if you have the time anyway.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then put your feet up in the shade this weekend.
Right.
Thank you, Ted. Authorities have charged the suspect in the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill shooting. The UNC graduate student is facing first-degree murder in the shooting of his faculty advisor. The judge has denied bond. The attack caused a campus lockdown while police searched for the gunman.
You have a tendency to think about these shooters as if they're just like these horrible monsters who are completely detachable from humanity. But when you know that you've talked to one of them, and that if they had stuck around just a little bit longer, I probably could have hung out with the guy outside of class.
Just after us on Today, this student sharing how he had previous contact with the shooter and was stunned to learn he was the suspect.
Here at home, we know COVID-19 is being tracked differently now with the end of the national emergency and many people using at-home tests. Local health officials say exact numbers are difficult to pinpoint. For now, Olmsted County Public Health says it is monitoring hospitalizations specifically for COVID and wastewater data, as well as tracking symptoms of patients in emergency departments. New variations of the virus are continuing to appear. As a new variation becomes more common, experts believe a new formula for the vaccine will be necessary to combat it, and that residents should continue to use caution when handling this virus.
We just recommend that everyone, really 6 months and up, get the vaccines that they're eligible for. And if you do have any questions or concerns, reach out to your general practitioner.
Experts say the best way to protect yourself against emerging variants is to be up to date on boosters.
Property owners could soon see yet another tax increase in Rochester, the city continuing to consider its 2024 budget, estimated to be $25 million more than this year's budget. In 2021, city leaders voted for a zero tax levy increase, which, according to Mayor Kim Norton, is unheard of to make up for job loss and reduction. Now the city is paying for that decision. Right now, it is not clear how exactly this would affect residents or business owners.
That zero increase in the levy didn't account for the fact that employees still got paid, and their 3% raise or 2% raise or 1% raise was still in effect because we have multi-year contracts. And so you have to make up for that in the out years. So while we did have that 1 year of 0%, and we're using ARPA funds to try to slowly work that increase in.
After the levy is approved, the community will have several months to weigh in on any concerns. While Minnesotans are now able to use recreational cannabis legally, the same cannot be said for non-U.S. citizens.
Yeah, they can face immigration consequences even if the state says this is legal. The Minnesota Office of Cannabis Management says people in Minnesota who are not U.S. citizens should seek legal advice before using or possessing cannabis. This is because under federal law, cannabis is still a Schedule I drug, meaning any affiliation with it is still a federal offense. The State Immigrant Law Center urges people not to use marijuana if they are not a U.S. citizen. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services says even legal conduct with the drug is grounds for severe immigration penalties.
For non-citizens, nothing has changed. The law hasn't changed in terms of the immigration laws, and the state law changing around cannabis has had no effect on the immigration laws.
The organization says there is a risk of getting deported, losing immigration status, and not getting U.S. citizenship or any legal status.
Happening today, Minnesota Senate and House Republicans will be holding a news conference to propose legislation to fix the school resource officer change that they say has put students and school safety at risk. A provision in this year's Education Omnibus Bill bans SROs from using certain forms of restraint in unreasonable situations. The Minnesota Chiefs of Police Association has expressed concern that the new law is going to constrain officers' ability to control difficult scenarios. A news conference gets underway at 11 this morning in St. Paul. We have been taking you to several Rochester public schools throughout this back-to-school week as students are back in the classroom. Another local school system is also starting off a new academic year.
All 5 of the Rochester Catholic school buildings are back to business this week, and a recent trend is showing more parents are choosing this option. Our Darian Letty is live outside of Holy Spirit Catholic School in Northwest Rochester. All of the students there have officially returned. So Darian, tell us a little bit about what is new there this year.
Well, yeah, Jess and Kelsey, school leaders have really ramped up programming within the past year, and it's drawn in a lot of new students. Now, the Catholic school system here in Rochester is actually supported by the 6 dioceses that are also in our community. There are 3 elementary schools, including Holy Spirit, where I'm at right now, a middle school, and a high school. While the majority of students live in Rochester, many travel from surrounding towns to attend RCS. Enrollment is up 2% from where it was last year, with 1,347 students last year to 1,371 students this year. There are a lot of new preschoolers, but school leaders also say they see quite a bit middle and high school transfers later on in their schooling process. Something else to note, not only are class sizes getting bigger, but they're also getting more diverse.
What people are often surprised to hear is that we are over 20% students of color. And they identify that way. So sometimes color isn't always seen, but we really embrace and love that about our community. And it is something that we continue to lean into and want to be part of who we are.
And if you are a parent watching and you're interested in learning more about RCS or even enrolling in school this year, there's still some waitlist options that parents can get on the list for, and you can do that on their website. We're going to have a link to that on our website and our app, KTTC.com, and the KTTC app right there. Looks like we've got some little ones arriving at this moment. There's been a few that have came through us, but I've been hanging out here. So we wish them and all the students here a great school year, you guys.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time. So we're happy to see that everyone's eager to go back. Thank you so much, Darian. Good information there. It is 6:41 this morning. Century High School students also are back in the classroom this week.
They are getting to know their new principal. She is live in our studio this morning, so we're going to chat with her when we return. And we're also going to learn about some other new faces in Century High School leadership. We'll be right back. Century High School students are among those back in the classroom this week, and they have some new leadership in their school.
Yeah, Monday Schwartz is the very brand new principal at Century, and we are getting to know her a little bit better this morning live in our studio. We appreciate you being up with us this morning.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So to get to know you a little bit more, tell us about your background. You're not new to Southern Minnesota or the education world.
Yeah, it's a good way to say it. Yeah, I'm sort of a Southern Minnesota girl. Yeah, so I've been in Mankato for a long time. It would have been my 30th year in the Mankato schools. So I was a social studies teacher at Mankato East and then had different positions at the district level, and most recently was principal at Prairie Winds Middle School in Mankato. So have come over from there and just really have enjoyed the opportunity to be in the Rochester schools and come into a district that is so progressive and really just foundationally solid and all about the things that I believe in and am committed to. So I'm really, really glad to be here.
You are the new principal at Century High School.
Yes.
There are some other new faces in leadership there as well.
We do have, yes. I have 3 of my 4 assistant principals are new this year. We have Mary Schoenbeck, who's still here after a lot of years at Century, so we're glad to have her. Mary is retiring in January, so we're excited for her as well to take that next step. And then we have 3 new assistant principals. One is familiar to the Rochester district, Steve Aiken, came over from John Marshall. So he's joining us as registrar. Patrick Breen actually was the principal at Stewartville, so we're really glad to welcome Patrick here. And then Peter Dodds. Peter is also a familiar name within the Rochester schools, so had a district position in elementary literacy and is now joining us at Century this year. So we're very new to Rochester, to Century, but not necessarily to the Rochester schools in our AP team.
Yeah, a lot of excitement,
Yes,
a lot of exciting things at Century. Love to see that. One of the things that you talk about, that's something that's important that you want to stress for students is the fact that obviously they want to focus on their academics, right? But also getting involved outside of school. Tell us about that.
Well, involvement outside of school can really enhance your academic experience. So it's so important that kids become involved because that really is the way that kids can help to apply what it is that they learn and make what they learn even more rich and valuable. And I also believe it's one of the things that we offer in the public schools, especially in Rochester. Kids have opportunity to do so many different things, and they can find their passion and figure out their identity and really dig deep and just become consumed in good ways by all of the things that we have to offer them. So it's just really fun and so many variety of, yes, activities, but also clubs and different things that kids have available to them. So, and you're right, we encourage all of our kids to be involved in something outside of the classroom so that they can have that experience.
Monday, thank you so much for getting up early with us. It's been a joy getting to know you, and we hope you have a great first year.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Century.
having me.
Here's Ted.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Ted Schmidt.
Okay, a beautiful day on tap, beautiful sunshine already showing up outside. Every day so far this week has been stellar. Today, maybe the best of them all. We start kind of crisp and cool, run away to the mid-70s with just a gentle breeze and so much more of that beautiful sunshine we're already enjoying. That's going to stick around. The current scene from our Lewis Dodauto live cameras, gorgeous sunrise from Lake Pepin, and here in Rochester, a pretty good looking scene as well. It's a blue sky overhead, temperatures in the mid-50s here. Officially in Rochester, it's 55, 54 in Preston, Mason City, 57 degrees, on our way to about 76, and that is a 30-year climate average. Just a couple of passing clouds with some sunshine outside. Right now it's 55, just a gentle east-southeast breeze. Air pressure is steady, 30.12 inches of mercury in the barometer, and really nothing happening. We're going to stick with a mainly sunny sky under the center of high pressure nearby. Just a gentle easterly breeze as we move along. Behind that high pressure, more of that warmth will be building in, but really the rain chance that we're seeing to the west not going to impact us. We're going to see all the energy be forced up into Canada as overall, well, we're going to enjoy pretty quiet weather, but watch the heat build as we move into the weekend time frame. Here's the latest on Idalia. This is right now. Idalia is a Category 3 hurricane. Keaton Beach, where it made landfall about 3 minutes ago. That's where it is in northwest Florida, making a landfall. It is now official. Category 3 hurricane at landfall as of 6:45 Central Time, or 7:45 Eastern Time, where it's happening right now. 125-mile-per-hour maximum sustained winds for Idalia, and moving northeast at 18 miles per hour, actually picking up speed over the past 4 or 5 hours as it moves now quickly to the northeast, crossing the panhandle of Florida, moving into Georgia, still as a Category 2 hurricane this afternoon, going to Charleston, South Carolina, just after midnight. By that time, just then, weakening from a hurricane to a tropical storm. Still some powerful winds with that, quite a bit of rainfall. I mean, the storm surge right now in Florida at this point, more than 12 feet as it moves out to sea. Still a tropical storm for the next couple of days, moving toward Bermuda, moving along to Saturday and Sunday. But sunny and mild today, hot and humid this weekend, and above average temperatures holding on for all of next week. We're talking about temperatures still in the 80s and low 90s for quite some time. Keep in mind, 76 is the seasonal average. That's what will be for today. Future track today, a light breeze for the east, turning more to the south later tonight into tomorrow. A slightly breezier situation Thursday with that warmth building in, close to 80 for high temperatures tomorrow. By the time we get to Friday, a breezier, slightly more humid outlook with some gusty winds and some sunshine. Before we get there, we're going to enjoy some moonlight. A clear night. Well, it'll be right around 70 degrees at moonrise at 8:05 this evening. It's a blue moon, the second full moon of the month of August, and it's also going to be a super moon, so something to check out later this evening. Good viewing of that happening later on. And you only get one blue moon for the most part in any given calendar year, and this is the one for this year. Look for some sunshine today. 76, mostly sunny skies, a light east breeze around 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, a cool one though, mainly clear, 52. So you may need a light jacket if you're out too long in the evening hours. Checking out that beautiful bright blue moon. And 7-day forecast, upper 70s tomorrow. Then the heat is on for the weekend. We're going to talk about temperatures making it feel like the mid-90s temperatures themselves in the low 90s with a little extra humidity and kind of a breezy weekend as well.
Yeah, it could be like one last blast of super heat for the year.
It looks like that may be the case, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll take it, I guess. We have to, right? That's Mother Nature. Yeah. Thanks, Ted. It is 6:52. As you begin to think of planning winter getaways, Google Flights is about to make it a little easier to find the best deal.
And Apple is out to tempt iPhone users to make an upgrade. We'll be right back.
Join us for Midwest Access, weekdays at 4 p.m.
The calendar is about to flip to September, and if tradition holds, Apple is about to make a splash and unveil its new products for the coming year. The company says it will hold an event in about 2 weeks. The tech experts say Apple will likely be revealing its iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro. The new devices are expected to feature a longer-lasting battery, faster charging, and a better camera. Plus, Apple will offer customers more color choices for these phones. The company also is expected to introduce newer versions of its Apple Watch and Apple Watch Ultra. You may notice some changes to Google Flights. The site is unveiling 3 new features. When searching Google Flights for airfare, you can now see whether current prices for a particular flight are low, typical, or high. You can for you and alert you if the price goes down significantly. And if you you may be offered a price guarantee option, so that if the price of your airfare does go down, you will get back the difference via Google Pay. Pretty cool. It is 6:56 on this Wednesday morning. A live look outside right now in Rochester. Highway 52 there, traffic moving along smoothly. We're going to get one more check of our day ahead when we come back.
KTTC Traffic Cam brought to you by Cars and Credit.
Our top story this morning, breaking news from the Gulf Coast, of course. Hurricane Idalia did make landfall to Florida's Big Bend region around 6:45 this morning as a Category 3 hurricane. It was actually downgraded from Category 4 at the top of the hour. It did hit the town of Keaton Beach, about an hour southeast of Tallahassee. 12 to 16 feet of storm surge is expected there. We will, of course, continue to follow this as it moves through North Florida and into Georgia and bring you any updates on what's happening with this storm on air and online.
Yes, of course, you can also expect the latest on that right here at noon. We want to leave you with this morning. As a thank you for clearing more than 7 acres of brush near power lines at an Illinois state park, some helpful goats got a tour of Chicago. You can see these goats making their way through Chicago, meeting some new friends along the way. I'm sure they were very popular attractions there.
Yeah.
Not what you would expect to see in downtown Chicago. Maybe at the Minnesota State Fair.
Yes, lots of goats there, lots of baby animals and everything. I mean, how cute. I love the noise that they make, their little call. I'm not going to do it because it's kind of obnoxious, but that's so cute.
Wow, okay. we were golfing over the weekend at the Old Barn Resort near Lanesboro, and they have some goats near the golf course there. And yeah, they just are day brighteners, kind of like Ted. He always makes every day a little better.
Yeah, well, I do. I try to do what I can. I love goats too. So maybe we should bring goats into the weather office or the weather patio. Well, no, they might eat the.
You know,
the weather patio. They might. You could clean up after them out there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. Weather today, speaking of cleaning up, Mother Nature is doing a great job of bringing some clear weather, clean weather. 76, they expect the high temperature today. 7-day forecast, a little warmer tomorrow. Then the heat really ramps up Friday.